All-time tunes. So this is the original Soul Man, released in 1967, done by Sam and Dave. In the rhythm section, of course, the inseparable Steve Cropper and Donald Duck Dunn on bass. Steve Cropper, one of my favorite guitar players, played beautiful parts, wrote great tunes. He wrote Dock of the Bay, he wrote Midnight Hour, he wrote Knock on Wood. One thing that Steve Cropper is a theme throughout a lot of his playing is using these things called sixths intervals of a sixth. Sometimes major, sometimes minor. Like in Dock of the Bay. You remember that sound? Well, that's a Steve Cropper sound. In Soul Man, so the song starts in E. Starts with an E. Well, how does he get that? How is this an E? Well, it's just D, D sharp, E. So this little shape, and I'm going to give you finger recommendations on it. Some people will do this, but really, use the fingerings I give you. Trust me, they're good. They'll help you later on down the road. So I'm using my second finger, 3rd string, 4th fret. I'm playing the 5th of an E chord, which is B. My ring finger or my 3rd finger is on the 1st string, 4th fret. Now, some people will use a pick. I use my fingers on this, and you can use a combination of pick and fingers, where with my thumb, I'm using my pick on my 3rd string, and then I'm using my middle finger. I sort of like the real human sound of fingers, so sometimes I'll just tuck my pick right in there. You got to get good at that. That was a little sleight of hand thing I learned when I got to Musicians Institute. I thought it was like worth the price of admission alone. So if you're using fingers, you're going to need to use a pick after this when you get into the rhythm. So you can use any set of fingers. You can use a pick combined with a finger. You can use a pick the whole time. Just make it sound warm. Okay, so what I do at first is I take this little E triad. I slide up, and it sounds like this. Then I slide it up to the 7th fret, 9th, 11th, and then my little triads come in. So that's an E chord, which is a D moved up a whole step. I go to my 2nd fret and I do a bar. Sounds very strange on its own. Now you can just go for the top part of an E chord, which is my 1st finger, 3rd string, 1st fret. But just to be safe, I just tend to play that E in case my pick strays. We get to the chorus. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Then we got a little lick. And what that is it's a D on my 15th fret, 2nd string, and I bend it up a whole step. He does it again. I'm a soul man. I'm a soul man. Now there's a turnaround. It's really cool. We're in the key of E. It goes to the 4 chord and then the 5. So that's an A, but I'm not playing it like this. I'm just barring it. Then what I do is I take my ring finger, I slide on my 5th string 2nd fret to the 5th string 4th fret. My index finger is waiting to receive the next note. It's the 4th string 2nd fret. So I have this A, slide from B to C sharp, 1st finger, 4th string, 2nd fret, that's an E note, to B. So that first A is with my A chord. Slide, 2nd fret, 7th, 9th, here it is, E, bar, E. Muted. Amazing? So it's also how he's playing it, and that is he's not slamming. He's staying so out of the way, just like the horns are doing these little hits. Those hits are so clean. This band is so tight. I just would not stop smiling if I was playing with them every night of the week. This song is so filled with incredibly tight individual parts that come together and create such a joyful arrangement. Okay, so let me show you this bridge part. He's got a C. It comes from this big fat C chord, 8th fret. I'm barring just 2 strings, or you can think of it as an F chord moved up the neck. F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Then I take my ring finger off. Once again, we're only playing the top strings. We are staying out of the frequency range of everybody else. So we have a C. There's my root. My middle finger's on the 9th fret, 3rd string, index finger barring, 1st and 2nd strings on the 8th fret. Then I have what looks like a D chord shape. It's a G if I play it here. That's on my 7th fret. That's a G. D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G. Once again, he's just using these little triads moved up the neck. C, G, goes to A, yeah. That's going to be our key change. Making your C chord ready here. We're going to the bridge. You're going to play the turnaround, theoretically, right? Now we're just doing the bridge. A. Stay there. Well, after the bridge, and he changes keys. So he goes up to this F, goes up to the 8th fret, 10th fret, 12th, then 1st finger, 1st string, 13th fret, 2nd finger, 3rd string, 14th fret. That's just an F. Takes it down. From there, he's doing that little parallel shape on the 8th fret. And then he stops. He leaves room for all the horns and the vocals there. Just playing this normally. The second time, it's your high F. And he's back to the lick, right? Now, this lick is going to change a little bit because we don't have that open E. Everything else is fine up a half step. Here's our F on the 5th fret. D, D sharp, E, F. Then we have what looks like a G minor, 3rd fret. Index finger, barring 3 strings in the 3rd fret. 2, just the top part of our F triad. That looks like your basic old garden variety F. But because we're only playing these 3 you'll hear that lick. The horns will go ba-da-da-da-da-da, and then I'm playing an F7, which is just an F, with my pinky on the 4th fret, 2nd string. So you hear the horns go ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da. That's the end lick. That's when you know I'm stopping. F7. Done. You'll listen. Normally when you're playing that with a band, you'll see them, so you'll know when the ending's coming in. Anyway, this song is one of the most interactive guitar horn tunes, very much like Rock Around the Clock, where more is less. The guitar part is classic. It is so much fun to play. It's like being on a roller coaster, and the interaction between the guitar and the horns is so pleasing and so enjoyable. So you got to learn this tune. You got to get on a gig. You got to get on a gig with horns, and you got to play this tune, because there's nothing more enjoyable than playing a song like this with a horn section. I want you to sit and listen to this tune, and I want you to listen to how the guitar interacts with the horns. You're just going to learn so many important things about the guitarist's role in the band. And when there's a lot of instruments, you got to learn how to stay out of the way. Look what he was doing. Just playing the top 3 strings really the entire time. So these triads are really important, all these little guys. Enjoy. If you have any questions, well, you just need to click my contact link on www.carolepellatt.com. And if you're in Montreal or you're in Phoenix, you come take a lesson. And if you're in cyberspace, we'll do a FaceTime or a Skype lesson. And I'd love to help you out some more with parts like this, because they make me so happy.